Hey Village, it has been a minute. I hope you remember me. Life has been a little wild over the last couple of months and you guys have been really patient, really supportive, but I do know that I have not been putting out videos at all. Not even consistently, but like at all. And while this video isn't going to be a huge update, I did want to share with you guys our weekend and maybe catch you up on a few things. Right now it's Saturday morning. The kids just had an amazing breakfast. I did a little TikTok about it because I started doing those bento boxes and, you know, doing little TikTok videos and people love seeing them. So I was like, okay, I'll do more of this. So I gave them a huge breakfast. They ate it up and now they're playing downstairs. I'm gonna head down there soon too because there's a section of our basement that is unfinished that has all of our storage, and right now it is out of control. This typically happens when we take in foster placements, when there's a new placement and we're still in that adjustment transition phase. There are parts of our life and our home that get a little bit neglected. So I'll show you a couple of piles that are things that are just like, hey, we're gonna wait. This is not a priority. The kids are the priority. And I think Sawyer is due for a haircut. It's usually incredibly traumatic when we get his haircut, but I think he needs like one more like really close cut. It's the end of the summer. It'll keep him cool. And he's just looking a little bit raggedy. But if you're following on Instagram, especially, you've seen that Darcy is back in school. I don't know if I've done anything on TikTok related to her going back to school. Probably not. But she's back in school. Miss A, who is staying with us off and on for the summer because she had a summer job that was close to us that paid really well. She is now back home. And I realized looking back at all the footage that like I recorded and never edited, never shared with you guys. I never even really showed you guys the whole transformation of the basement. I did a little bit of filming of setting it up, so I'm going to show you guys that. And then when she was staying there, I didn't want to record because it was like her stuff and it just felt like an invasion of privacy. So now that she has moved back home, when I say moved back home, I mean she was here like 4 days out of the week working, and then she was home for 3 days to spend time with her family. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you guys like what the process looked like transitioning that space in our basement, and then what it looks like now. And I gotta tell you, it was so nice having her for the summer. It really worked out with the placement that we had. It was just a really good fit, really supportive, you know, having 2 teens in the home. I'll be honest, it was a lot. It was a lot of driving, you know, when you have a foster placement and they have appointments, you know, you're going to be driving all over the place. But then we also were making sure that Miss A was getting to and from work when she was with us. Every single week we were at least driving her home and back. Sometimes we would do it 2 times because we would go pick her up and take her to work and take her to stay with us. Gas prices, what they were this summer, put a hurting on us. So between the gas and, you know, we wanted to make sure that our, you know, fridge and freezer and pantry were always stocked up with food that they would want. You know, our Costco bill and grocery bill was pretty high. So those things are starting to regulate a little bit, which is nice. And we're getting a lot of time back. And that's part of the reason I haven't posted. I really just have not had time. I do still work full time. Being a mom, being a foster mom, a wife, you know, trying to keep up with all of life's responsibilities, it's a lot. And so during those times of transitions, you know, I'm not gonna be able to post as much. But like I said, you guys have been super patient, super understanding. But this week I finally caught up with work. Things are in a really good place. I'm really excited for what's coming up. I am still volunteering with a nonprofit in the state of Ohio, and that takes up a few hours of my week as well. I'm also still dedicated to building out the Be the Village community website. I want to get those forums up so that people can start connecting and sharing really supportive advice, resources. I want to start building more resources out on that site. If you're interested in collaborating and volunteering your time and resources, if you know how to make job aids and just like kind of one-pager type of things, if you know how to make animated videos on platforms like Vyond. I love Vyond. I use it all the time. I just don't have time to make a lot of those my own. But if you're willing to donate your time and skills, definitely reach out to me. We will connect and you can help build those out for the foster care community across the country. Have to get that little plug in there. So I think that that's kind of a general overview of where we're at. And we're gonna do a separate video that's specific to our fostering update. So that's gonna be separate, but those videos really need time to get approved by our caseworker to make sure that our messaging is safe. So that's gonna be separate. This video is really just like a family update and showing you guys what we're up to this weekend because we've missed you. The other big update that I'll share with you guys in this video later on, some of you may have noticed about where Crosley is, and so I'll update you guys on that later. But now I have left the kids alone in the basement for far too long, so I'm gonna go play with them and at the same time kind of straighten up our area in the basement that's a mess. And I'll leave with you guys the transformation of Miss A's basement suite. Sawyer, where are we going?
Go cut my hair.
You gonna cut your hair?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that hair. It is looking so cool. Honestly, if it did this every day, I probably would not cut it. But it doesn't look this cool. Oh, yep, okay. And these are usually traumatic experiences for him. So we're gonna go as soon as Great Clips opens. All the kitty places have been booked up because it's back to school. So we're just gonna go to Great Clips first thing in the morning before it's too crazy busy so that his screaming won't bother everybody. Are you ready?
Dancing people, dancing. Go, go, go.
And they have been playing, what game have you been playing?
We have not been playing anything. Sawyer and me were doing some jobs too. Remember, Sawyer? We did all of this stuff, except for this one and this one. We didn't like go to the princess castle or walk the dog yet.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Let's go get your hair styled. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the space as it is after she moved out. Little dusty, but I'm gonna show it to you guys anyway. And before you come at me about some of the choices we had, this was a temporary solution. This was 2 to 3 months max. So we made do with what we could with our budget. So this is the toy area of the basement. We had sectioned off one area to the left for Miss A while she stayed with us. But we wanted to, at least when she was at work or you know, she was upstairs watching a movie with us, the kids could still be down here to play without disturbing her area. We also wanted to give her a little bit of privacy. So what we did is we got a very long tension rod that went all the way across these 2 walls. And these are just those curtain hooks that you can clip onto any piece of fabric. We decided to use the 2 flat sheets that actually match with her bedspread. So yeah, super simple, but that is what we're using. And for her space, we wanted to make sure she had all the essentials and plenty of space to move anything in that she needed. So this is that top bunk with the rail taken down. There's a little cart with some hooks, you know, kind of like a nightstand. This is something that we had on hand. This desk and the carpet came from a garage sale. Got a really good deal. Kind of had an idea that we wanted to create a guest suite here anyway. Put up a little thing for pictures if she wanted to do that. I don't think she ended up using it, but again, it's just something that I like to do. I also kind of put some toiletries and towels, washcloths, all that stuff out. This is primarily where she put her toiletries. We gave her a little hanging rack and a dresser. And again, because it's temporary, went ahead and left up our pictures. What's good about this space is that it does have a bathroom right here. So she had full access to her own bathroom, so she didn't have to go all the way upstairs to use it. It's not the best bathroom, but again, it worked for the time being. And now I'm going to show you guys the basement unfinished portion that has gotten really out of control. It goes in phases, and so here we are. We cleared out my grandparents' old house, and a lot of that stuff came here. So I have some of those items. We have items from placements, we have donations, we have seasonal clothes, and right now it's just, as you can see, all over. This also happens around garage sale time because like we'll find stuff like boots that the kids aren't actually in the size, but like these are London Fog winter boots and we paid $5. So we're gonna hold on to those until Darcy can fit them. So this is an area I'm gonna set aside a weekend and reorganize. All right, village, so now I'm gonna try to explain to you guys why Crosley is no longer with us. And I'm not gonna beat around the bush. We did have to put Crosley down. There was an incident that happened that honestly was incredibly traumatic, and it's something that up until now, I didn't really feel comfortable sharing. I do wanna say before I tell this story, trigger warning for dog bites. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but I will explain a little bit of what happened. We've always been open about what we go through, and so I'm gonna share with you guys what happened. In the late spring, Darcy and I were taking both dogs for a walk. We had their leashes, they were both on a leash. We were going around the corner. Luckily, we were only a block away from our home, and out of nowhere, Crosley pulls so strongly to the point where we let go of the leash, not by choice, but by force. And there was just an older lady walking, and he wasn't provoked. There was no reason why he would go after this woman, and he went straight up to her, and before I could get there, he had bit her. And this wasn't just a bite. Luckily, she had jeans on. It was the back of her calf that he grabbed. This was a vicious bite. Serious damage was caused to this woman. We've been in contact with her. She is healing, but she had lasting complications. And during this, you know, I couldn't see the damage, but I was able to get Crosley off of the woman. And I was holding both dogs. Immediately when I saw how much blood was, you know, coming down her pant leg onto her shoes, I was like, I need to call 911 right now. And, you know, she insisted that she was okay. And I was like, no, this is not okay. I think she was in a little bit of shock. Again, I'm trying to hold the dogs, get my phone out, call 911. It's amazing how quickly things happen. Like, it felt like it took forever in the moment, but when I look back at the phone call records, within 6 minutes of dialing 911, the ambulance arrived on scene. During that time, I was able to have her sit down, and I ran both dogs home so that they were removed from the situation. And, you know, immediately when the paramedics, you know, pulled back her jeans, you know, the damage was, like I said, extensive. Obviously the dog warden was called, and he, you know, after the woman was taken care of, you know, and she went off in the ambulance, we exchanged information so that I could be in contact with her, because of course, like, I felt absolutely horrible. Luckily Darcy was okay, like, she was there and she witnessed it, but I was able to talk her through things, and honestly, I think she was the least affected by it. To be honest, I'm still struggling with, even with our existing dog Luna and other dogs on the street. Once you witness that kind of a dog bite, it rattles you. And Crosley has been our dog for 7 years. There was only one time that he showed the slightest bit of aggression, and that was it. He's been around young kids, he's been around strangers, he's been around other dogs. I mean, him and Luna were getting along great. Again, because this was unprovoked, we don't know if maybe there was a tumor or, you know, some kind of, you know, thing that was happening that we didn't see that was impacting, you know, his brain and, you know, what would possibly trigger him. We just didn't know. And everything happened so fast after that. So, you know, I get home, I meet with the dog warden, and he basically says that there are two options. I either surrender Crosley to them for them to euthanize. I could face legal repercussions after he was in quarantine, because they quarantine dogs after they bite. After a quarantine period, he would be marked I can't remember the terminology, but basically an aggressive dog, a dangerous dog, which not only has implications for everyone with their, home or renter's insurance, but for us as a foster family, what that meant is that our license to foster children would be called into question because a county would not place children in a home with a dog that, had that kind of behavior. For us, it was such a difficult decision, but also because of how scary the situation was. I mean, for him to switch that quick, honestly, I don't know what I would do if that happened to any kids in our care, if it happened to Darcy or Sawyer. It's one of those things where you would just never be able to forgive yourself. And so I'm not trying to justify our reasoning, and I know that there will still be people who disagree with the choice of surrendering him, but at that time, I didn't have time to make a decision, and that was the only decision I could see that was best for our family. So it's been months since that happened. We are now, we just have Luna. We had talked about adopting another dog and rescuing another dog. But again, I still have like some PTSD, and bringing another dog in, because we're a rescue family. We're not gonna get a puppy and like raise a puppy. Like we would want to rescue a dog. And with that comes behaviors that you don't know of. And so, that unpredictability, I guess. With all that being said, that's where we're at. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about that, but I felt like it was something that needed to be said. You guys have been a part of our journey, a part of our lives for so long. I know some of you had noticed it from videos before, and as we move forward and have more videos coming out, I know it was going to come up, and so I wanted to address it just really straightforward. With all that being said, I do plan on getting a video out updating you guys on our foster placements and all of that. That is something that does go through our agency to approve, just to make sure we're maintaining confidentiality and privacy. And there's always something going on. So I will do a better job of keeping you guys updated. Make sure you like and subscribe and your notifications are on, because you never know when a video is gonna pop up. Also be sure to follow on TikTok and Instagram, where I post more frequently. And be sure that you jump on the Be the Village community website, because there's gonna be some big things happening. I'm currently building out the first newsletter, and I really think that we're gonna get these forums up and running probably maybe by the end of the year, if not the very first of the new year. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you, and we will see you next time.